guys, and welcome to another reading vlog. If you watched my last vlog, then you will know that I recently went to Barnes & Noble's and picked up the book Verity, which I have been wanting to read for quite some time. I actually started last night right before bed, but I only read the first 2 chapters and I'm about to start chapter 3. I thought, why not make this a reading vlog so I can just share my thoughts throughout reading it. I'm gonna probably structure it similar to my last reading vlog, which was It Ends With Us, where I'll just share my thoughts, have a spoiler-free review, and then have spoilers at the end that share all my thoughts. But the first sentence is, I hear the crack of his skull before the splattering of blood reaches me. And then it goes on to a whole description and how she just saw a guy get run over by a truck because he wasn't looking when he was crossing the street. He was on his phone. So the first chapter, it was very like dark, and it wasn't that I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it was so dark I was kind of wondering if like it was gonna be all dark and have no lightness to it. And even though I only had 2 chapters, the second chapter I felt like the darkness lift a little bit because we get to know about the main character Lowen. Not too much, but we get to know about her writing job and her relationship with her mom, a little bit about her dating history. Yeah, it says it's a standalone romantic thriller. So I was really hoping like some romance was going to shine through. So those are my thoughts of the first 2 chapters. She also meets Jeremy, who is the husband of Verity. And we just started to get a little bit about his life, which is also very dark. There's darkness in Lowen, the main character, Jeremy already, the first page. So like I said in my vlog, this is pretty out of my comfort zone because I don't really read thrillers, but I think I'm gonna like it. We'll just keep reading and I'll let you know how I feel. Okay, so I'm on chapter 6, page 91 right now. This is how far I'm at, and I don't know if I talked about the premise of the book, but the name Verity is named because that's the name of this author who can no longer finish the series that she started. And so they hired this girl named Lowen to finish the rest of her series. And Lowen is now going through all these manuscripts, trying to learn more about the series and the direction that Verity wanted her series to go into. But she finds an unpublished autobiography of Verity. And so far, Lowen has looked at a few, and I think it's just starting to get good because Verity in this autobiography keeps having little warnings, and the last one she wrote was, "There is no light where we're going. This is your final warning, darkness ahead." And so she said in her author's note in her autobiography how the point of writing an autobiography is for your readers to like you more than you're not doing it right. And so she's pretty much saying that we're probably not gonna like her by the time we finish this autobiography. So I'm super excited to continue reading and curious to know what it is that Verity did that's so bad. I have some ideas, but I won't share them until maybe the end. But so far it's getting pretty good, and it's a relatively short book. I think there's only like 315 pages. We're just gonna keep reading. Also, we get to learn how Verity and Jeremy meet, which I think is pretty sweet. And so far there's just been like a lot of sweetness going on. Also, like Verity admits that in the beginning of their relationship, and even now she says that she's been very obsessed with him. So that's a really juicy theme to be working with. So let's just keep reading because I really want to know like what's gonna happen. Okay, so I am on chapter 16, page 210 right now. And this book, guys, is very interesting. I have about 100 pages left. I don't know if I'll finish it today. I really do, but I'm starting to get tired, and I was doing a few things today, so I didn't have a whole day to finish the book, but it's really juicy. Like, as I said before, Lowen is currently going through the manuscript of Verity, and we're learning chapter by chapter more crazy stuff that's happening in Verity's life and how much of a like manipulator and psychopath she is. And it's very similar to It Ends With Us in the way that if It Ends With Us, like we're switching between present day and letters from the past, and it's pretty much the same in this. Like we're back and forth between present day and events from the past. So yeah, it's really interesting. This part isn't really a spoiler because it says it in the back of the book, but Lowen is starting to fall for Jeremy, who is Verity's husband. A romance has been brewing, but to be honest, I'm not interested in that at all. Like, I don't really have in this moment of time like a desire for them to be together. Like, the chemistry I'm not necessarily like dying for. There's just so much more that I care about right now, like what happened to their daughters, like just how they got to the point that they are right now. Like, I know that these last 100 pages are going to be really juicy. There's a lot to read. I don't think I'll be finishing it today, but it's really interesting. We'll see though, because I'm the type of person where if things are getting good, it's most likely I'll stay up. Like, it's very likely that I do stay up. We'll just have to see. I will give my whole review though after I sit on it for like at least a day, because I want my thoughts like come together nicely and I don't want to like jump on it. But I will give you my thoughts probably right after I'm done finishing it, and then have a whole review at the end. So I'm gonna just keep reading and I'll update you when there's something to talk about. My heart is racing so much right now. Oh my god, I just read the most disgusting and like heartbreaking chapter I've ever read in my entire life. My heart, guys, like this stuff, this is crazy. Like, this book is really sick. I pretty much read I guess it's like the big secret. There's like a lot of secrets in this book, but it's like what had happened to one of the daughters, and it's just like, it's so creepy to read. Like, I've literally never read a book like this before, and I don't even know how to react. Like, not gonna lie, I was like 98% sure I was about to go to bed, but I like just kept reading, and now I cannot finish this until it's done. It's 11:45 right now, so I probably won't go to bed until like maybe 1 a.m. because I'm on page 262. I'm gonna finish this book and then probably come back and have my final thoughts. But damn, it's 12:57 in the a.m. and I just finished reading the book. Dang, is there a twist at the end that I really was not expecting at all. I'm actually really tired and I did not want to keep reading, but I just had to. This book is actually really good. I'll probably need to sit on it for a bit. That's why I'm gonna come back in a few days to have my full review. Right now, I'm kind of at a loss for words, I think. I didn't care so much about the romance, like I said. Like, it's definitely a theme here, but it's the questions about what happened with the daughters that is my main focus. Like, I love a cute little romance, but honestly, I didn't feel much chemistry. Like, if you're looking for a romance book, don't pick up this book. There are a lot of other romance books that you can pick up, but I feel like this is really good. If a book can surprise me, then I'm very pleased with that. Dang, I have a headache because I've been reading for so long in pretty poor lighting, and it's like 1 a.m. now, so I'm gonna go to bed and then come back. But y'all, I really enjoyed this book. I'm really shook, but we'll talk about it later. Good night. All right, y'all. It's been a couple days. We finished Verity. I'm ready to talk about it. So, like I said, this is going to be the spoiler-free review, and then at the end, I'll be talking about the spoilers. And also, there was a additional bonus chapter that came out for this book, and I also read that online, so I'll probably add that to the spoiler section. But let's just go ahead with our spoiler-free review. I really like this book. Like, I knew I was gonna like it, but I didn't think I was gonna like it that much. I think I like this more than It Ends With Us, just because it was so interesting. I had, like, my heart was beating out of my chest the whole time. I was surprised. Like, there was a lot of moments where I was like, dang, like, I wasn't expecting that. I will say that I was expecting the general outcome of, like, what happened to the daughters and, like, Verity's secret. Like, I had an idea of it. Like, as soon as I read the back of the book at Barnes & Noble's, I had an idea. And I will say I was correct about it, but just the execution of it was very good. I liked it. I said this before, I did not care about the romance. I thought it was very, I guess it's an important part of the book, but it wasn't like something that pulled on my heartstrings. I was like, oh, they're so cute together. If anything, I felt like it was kind of wrong. I felt like the only reason that Lowen liked Jeremy is because of the manuscripts and how Verity described him. So I don't feel like she actually got to know Jeremy for Jeremy. She only knows Jeremy from the manuscript. And so I thought it was kind of like not a very healthy relationship. Like I said, I thought that maybe the whole book would be like very dark, and it is kind of pretty dark. I feel like this is like about the max of darkness that I can get into where I really like it. Like I was scared. There was points where she described Verity and I was like, what the hell? Like it was very alarming, but I was still very interested. I thought that I was only like a romance reader, young adult, new adult type genre, but I think I'm gonna start reading more mystery, maybe like thrillers if it's kind of like this books, because I was like, dang, I'm kind of missing out if I'm only reading like romance books, and I didn't even care about the romance in this book, so I guess it doesn't even matter if the mystery will have romance. I do like a good romance though, so I will say that would be my preference, but I highly recommend you picking up this book if you are on the fence or if you're very interested to just read it. I rate this a 4 stars, which was not expecting to give it 4 stars. Now we're going to talk about the spoilers, so if you do not want to know the spoilers, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. But if you are here for the spoilers, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Y'all, where do you even start? Well, first, let's start with the romance. So like I said, I didn't think that the relationship was genuine because Lowen was going through the manuscript and fell in love with Jeremy through the manuscript. But then also because Jeremy was the one who read Lowen's books and wanted to hire her because he loved her books, I feel like it's the same vice versa. Like he probably fell in love with her through the characters as well. And maybe it's intentional, it probably is intentional, because I'm sure authors, they think of everything. So like that's another reason why I just didn't care for the romance. I also felt like we didn't get to know Lowen at all. Like we get to know that she struggled with sleepwalking and her mom was abusive or something. But I thought that was like very random. Like sleepwalking? What does that have to do with really anything? I don't get it. Like I felt like that was kind of pointless and random. Like we could have gone through the whole story without her knowing her sleepwalking history, but if that's what you want, that's what you want. Climax was really good, but it felt kind of rushed. Like it's very few pages from where Lowen is in Verity's room screaming at her, trying to get her to move, to Jeremy coming in saying, get out of the house, I want you to leave, then to her giving him the manuscript and him going to the room and trying to kill Verity. Like that was like very fast, and I wasn't expecting him to actually do it, and I wasn't expecting Lowen to be like telling him how to do it. Like I kind of wish that whole climax, at least the beginning, was a little bit more drawn out, but also kind of not, because I don't like it when things get like crazy drawn out. So like it was just very fast. I felt like whenever I read how Verity treated the children, like I was so intrigued in the worst way possible. The whole time I was like, how can a mother do this? From the second she was pregnant to the death of Harper, I was like, what the actual heck? And then I wanted to talk about, of course, the plot twist where Verity has the letters in the floor and saying how it wasn't actually true, like the manuscript wasn't real. She was just trying to get into, I guess, a mind of an antagonist, because that's how she has all her popular stories. Like she writes in that point of view. And I don't know if I believe it, honestly. Like I kind of want to believe it just because it would make it very juicy, but then also it seems very convenient for her to do that, just because like the fact that she wrote about Harper's death right after Harper's death, like I don't think any sane person would do that. Talk about how she killed her daughter right after her daughter died. Like that doesn't sound right. And like Crew saying that his mom said to hold his breath when they were tipping over. Nobody has enough time to do that when they're tipping over. Like that doesn't really make any sense to me. I can't remember where I read this from, but somebody said that it would be very easy to find out if Verity's lying or not if Lowen would just talk to, who was it? I think it was the publisher or something who told Verity to write in the antagonistic point of view, to ask her if that's what she actually told Verity, because then she'll be able to easily find out if Verity was lying or not. It's very, very sick. I don't know who would write like all that stuff about their own children and family. Like if you really love them, would you do that? I know I couldn't. I would literally just make something up. I would literally make a story about a fake situation and a fake family if that was the assignment, but I would not do it from my own personal experience. Like that is really messed up. And also like I feel like I would have made like a disclaimer in the beginning of that manuscript as well, like this is fake. I feel like there's so many ways that could have been prevented, like, and like the letter that she wrote in the floor like literally could have just been like evidence for something in case she got arrested or something. Like, and then I have so many questions, like what's her name, Chasten or something, like where'd that scar from her face come from then? And like a lot of real life events did occur. Like Jeremy was saying, why do you always talk about Chasten and never Harper? Like if that was true, then like how's everything else a lie? Because it does seem like you do care more about Chasten than Harper then. So there's just a lot to unpack. I have no idea if it's real or she's just manipulating us. We will never know. But there was a bonus chapter released, which I read. I will put the link in the description because it is on YouTube and in probably other places, but I just read it on YouTube. And it's like 1:45. You just pause and read. If you don't want to know the spoiler to that, I will just say that it is very messed up and very creepy and made me think even less of their relationship. I'll just say that. And if you do want spoilers to that bonus chapter, it is really messed up. Like, pretty much Jeremy kills Patricia, which is one of the best friends of Verity. And in the previous year, he made a diss of her cheating on her husband. And so she saw Jeremy and Lowen with their baby and crew at the beach. And she did the math in her head and realized that it doesn't make sense for her to have a baby. Either Verity was still alive when they conceived or she just died when they conceived. So it was getting sus. And so Jeremy killed her and drowned her. And so pretty much in this chapter, Lowen is going through it and trying to rationalize it, that he had to kill her because it was her or us. And then she started like comparing herself to Verity and like thinking that her relationship might have been better, or is her relationship better, and thinking that Jeremy might leave her, and if he does leave her, he'll probably just kill her as well because she would be too much of a liability because she knows too much. And I'm kind of curious to know why she thinks Jeremy would just kill her because he's bored of her. Like, that's not why he killed Verity. He killed Verity because she killed his kids. Like, that part doesn't make any sense. It was weird because they had like this weird, like very explicit scene, and like Owen is really trying to compete with Verity right now. I felt it, that energy in this book where like she bit the same place on their headboard where Verity bit the headboard. And I was like, that's weird and gross. And so then also like in this explicit scene, she does stuff that she's like still trying to compete with a dead woman, which is very messed up. And then Crew takes the baby and puts her outside because she's too loud and screams too much, which is also messed up. So everyone's just very messed up. Jeremy kills a girl. Lowen's competing with a dead woman because her murderous husband killed 2 people already and thinks that he's gonna get bored and leave her. And then Crew is very messed up because he's like 5 and seen too many messed up things in his life, and he decides that it's okay to take a baby and put her outside, which is another reason why I think that maybe the manuscript is real, because he saw a lot of messed up things. So if he saw a lot of messed up things, then he's probably acting very messed up. And then also like because Jeremy's like a murderer or whatever, he's getting like very violent when they're like getting freaky, which I'm kind of like, I don't know if this is healthy. I don't. There's a lot of messed up things going on right now, and I knew from the beginning that this relationship was not goals. It wasn't anything to be happy about or love. So yeah, moral of the story, everyone's messed up, but I love the book. If you're buying the book, then you might as well buy the one with the bonus chapter, but if you already have this, just read it online, the bonus chapter. Someone said that they're more scared of Colleen than they are of Verity at this point, and I'm like, yeah, facts. So yeah, that is my reading vlog. That is my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't seen, I made a rating popular TikTok books like a month ago or something. If you want to watch that, and also leave me down book recommendations, books that you liked, books that you want to read, books that you've heard things about. I have a lot of books I want to read, but I'm always looking to add more things. So leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe, because if you've been on my channel before, then you obviously like me, so you might as well subscribe. I just finished filming a girl talk, so stay on the lookout for that. It's all about mental health, which is very fitting because this messed up mine. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, and I'll see you later. Bye.